Imagine waking up to find that your morning commute and your grocery bill have both spiked overnight because of a narrow strip of water thousands of miles away. The conflict in the Middle East is complex, but for your wallet, it boils down to three simple, uncomfortable facts. If you think this is just about the price of gas, you're missing the silent blockade that could freeze the tech in your pocket and stall the global economy. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your energy bills are predicted to jump and why the AI boom might be headed for a sudden, helium-starved crash. What's up? I'm Stocks and welcome to Stock Sprint. New here? One quick tap on the subscribe button will keep you in the loop. Get your friends to join the Sprint crew by sharing the video. Alright, let's get to it. Right now, the global oil market only cares about one thing: the Strait of Hormuz being reopened. Everything else you hear is just noise, like a car alarm going off in a neighborhood where everyone has already moved out. To give you an idea of the scale, 20% of the world's oil travels through this narrow waterway. It's currently being used as a tool of pressure by Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. He recently confirmed the strait would remain closed, which is about as helpful for global trade as a closed-for-lunch sign on a hospital ER. Even with 32 nations releasing 400 million barrels of oil to stabilize things, prices still shot above $100 a barrel last Thursday. It seems the market is reacting to reality while political prognostications are stuck in wildly optimistic territory. U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright mentioned it could be weeks before the Navy can even begin escorting tankers through. Meanwhile, Iran is still moving its own oil because its ships are the only ones that can currently transit the area. They can essentially wait this out while their adversaries watch their economic indicators turn a very stressful shade of red. Experts say even if the war ended this second, it would take 1 to 3 months to get the strait operational again. We have hundreds of ships waiting for passage and facilities that need serious repairs before the oil starts flowing. Have you noticed the prices at your local station creeping up yet? Or are you still living in the pre-shock bliss? Let me know in the comments if you've started budgeting differently this week. Here is the cold truth. The longer this drags on, the higher your prices will go. We are looking at a potential jump to $150 a barrel if that strait stays locked down. That puts gas at the pump on a march toward $4 a gallon, while diesel is aiming for $5. Since diesel powers the trucks that carry everything you buy, companies like FedEx are already adding fuel surcharges. Don't expect these companies to eat the cost. Either, they're already dealing with tariffs and have zero appetite for more profit shaving. JP Morgan estimates that consumers will bear about 80% of these costs this year. It's like being invited to a party where you have to bring your own cake and then pay the host for the privilege of eating it. Perishables like dairy, fruit, and fish will be the first to get more expensive, followed closely by airfares. Eventually, if fuel stays high, every single thing transported by truck, plane, or ship will follow suit. In the UK, the situation is mirroring the anxiety felt during the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has already acknowledged that a prolonged conflict will hit every household and business. Wholesale gas prices in the UK have already surged by nearly 50% since the conflict began on February 28th. Even though the UK gets 50% of its gas from Norway, global prices are connected like a set of very expensive, very sensitive dominoes. James Meadway from the Verdant think tank points out that a shock in one market quickly feeds into everywhere else. For UK households, your bills are currently protected by the price cap until July. But come July, experts are warning of a potential 10% increase, which could wipe out any planned savings. Martin Lewis is already urging people to look at fixed tariff deals before the crunch time at the end of May. If the price spike lasts into the October cap, we are entering real problem territory. Now, let's talk about this silent blockade that no one is discussing at the dinner table yet. Qatar produces about one-third of the world's helium as a byproduct of its LNG operations. With the Strait of Hormuz closed and facilities under force majeure, we are facing a total shutdown of helium production. Why does helium matter unless you're planning a very high-pitched birthday party? It is indispensable for manufacturing advanced AI chips and memory modules. There is no viable substitute for it in the cooling and lithography processes. This disruption is already forcing chip makers to reallocate their limited capacity, which could derail the entire AI boom. It's like trying to run a marathon, but suddenly forgetting how to breathe. Everything just stops. On top of that, war risk, insurance premiums for shipping have spiked by a staggering 1,200%. Some insurers are just leaving the Persian Gulf entirely, forcing ships to take the long way around Africa. Rerouting around the Cape of Good Hope adds 14 days and $1 million in fuel costs per vessel. This acts as a massive global surcharge on every commercial good you can think of. Reopening the strait isn't just a matter of signing a treaty, either. Iran has an inventory of roughly 2,000 sophisticated naval mines. The U.S. Navy's airborne mine-clearing fleet is nearing retirement, leaving slower robotic systems to do the heavy lifting. This ensures that any quick resolution to the blockade is about as likely as a peaceful family board game during the holidays. To make matters worse, Iran is using a dark fleet of over 1,900 tankers to bypass sanctions and fund their operations. These ships use identity laundering and covert transfers to keep their energy market moving while everyone else suffers. Even if you don't buy gas or use AI, the broader economic fears are very legitimate. Major oil shocks in 1973, 1990, and 2008 all resulted in reduced economic output. The U.S. economy has already lost 19,000 jobs since May of last year, so we aren't exactly on firm ground. A prolonged price shock could trigger mass layoffs and a tumble in the stock market. Unlike the 2022 shock when the job market was booming, businesses today are already on edge about tariffs and AI. Goldman Sachs has already raised the risk of a recession this year to 25%. They've also increased their forecasts for both inflation and unemployment. And then there's the digital side of this war. We've seen a significant increase in state-linked cyber activity targeting Western financial institutions and airports. This asymmetric warfare could disrupt your daily life more directly than any energy hike ever could. Imagine not being able to access your bank account while the price of milk is doubling. That's the potential reality. In the UK, the cost of filling a 55-liter family car has already increased by £4.72 in just 1 week. AA President Edmund King is even urging motorists to cut out non-essential journeys to save money. Are you cutting back on driving, or are you just gritting your teeth at the pump? Drop a comment below, and let's talk about how you're navigating these price hikes. The combination of helium shortages, insurance spikes, and cyber attacks means this toll will be felt for years. It's a lot to take in, but staying informed is the first step to protecting your finances. That's today's sprint done. Thank you everyone for watching. If you got value from this video, please feel free to subscribe and share the video with a loved one who may need it. I'm Stocks, and we'll see you on the next Stock Sprint. Have a nice day. Wow, you're still here. You must love the channel. Take a look at this video I think you would like, or you can just watch the latest upload.